Hello. Um, Come sit with me and breathe. Take a break in your day and let's take some breaths together. I hope you were able to stop and breathe and feel a little softer and clearer. Sometimes we might feel like there's so many thoughts swirling around our heads and so many distractions out there. One thing that we can do is we can use our breath as an anchor to create a habit during our day for checking in and watching our breath. Just watching our breath go in and out while you're looking at this video. Just notice your body breathing you. And then we're back. We're back in the moment. We still might have some thoughts, but we can change this. You can call it a habit or creating another kind of occupation where you always schedule or take time to tune in. This is something I always talk about with clients and students and friends and family because it's that important. We can get swept away with all the social media and the news and the fear, the energy of fear. But when we can plug in, when we can just sit and breathe consciously, we have those moments, those very powerful present moments. Training ourselves, training the subconscious mind to enjoy nothingness, just being. Conscious of our breath, of the energy around us, moving through us in our body. And even while you are listening to this, I want to urge you, of course, close your eyes if this feels better for you. But I want to urge you to bring your awareness inward. I watched this movie, I guess it was a TV show on Netflix recently about time travel. And it was interesting when they got into the machine, it was shaking like crazy, and they're like shaking, shaking, shaking. It's very traumatic. And then once they arrive, there's stillness. And it just reminds me of meditating. There are so many times where I sit to meditate and my mind is just going around and around and around. And there's so many thoughts and urgent thoughts too. Oh, I forgot to send this email, or did I turn the stove off? All these kinds of thoughts. And our body starts twitching and we're trying to find, a comfortable position. And so I just thought that was a good analogy, how we just wait until everything settles down. So let's take another deep, slow conscious breath together. A few more. Let's do 3. Slowing the breath down helps the body relax. It does slow down thought. And I've actually learned recently by listening to a man named James Nestor, who wrote a book called Breathe. And he talks about how so many people breathe out of their mouth and they breathe too much, too many breaths. Especially when, we're anxious, we're unconscious, we're busy doing things and we're in our heads and we're not paying attention. And it's actually not good for the body. When we can really feel our bellies rise and fall with the breath, and we fill our bellies and then it goes into our lungs, there's more oxygen that's available to the lungs. And we breathe less. So in case you want to look up that book, it's called Breathe. It's a yellow cover. And James Nestor is the author. He has a lot of YouTube videos or interviews actually on YouTube if you want to listen to him. But I found it very enlightening to understand about breath. When we're born as babies, you watch these young children and their bellies are always going up and down. That's where they're breathing from until they start walking and talking and moving around other people and noticing subconsciously that no one else is breathing that way. So they start. And also one thing James said was really struck me was, when we have a clogged sink, we take care of it immediately. Either we plunge it or we call a plumber. When we have a stuffed nose, a lot of times we just deal with it. We don't clear it up. And of course, there's many reasons why our nasal passage is stuffed. But I bring this up because I just would like to see more people make it a priority. Their overall health, of course, a priority. Physical health, mental health, spiritual health. But also, little things like if your nose is stuffed, find out why and do whatever it takes to clear it up. It's nice to just be. I want to tell you that it's really okay if you are having thoughts right now. I have some thoughts too, but they are not running amok. I'm aware that they're there. And I just keep my attention here with you, looking at myself, looking at the video image of myself. The screen is going in and out, kind of blurry, and it's okay. I'll let it go because we're here together, you and I, sitting, watching our breaths. Notice our body settling more and more. And even while I'm talking and you're listening and you're aware of your thoughts and you're sitting in wherever you're sitting or standing or lying, we can be present to it all. Here and now does not mean sitting with your eyes closed, cross-legged on a mountain somewhere. Here and now is being fully awake. You still notice sounds and sensations. But whatever's going around you, you're aware of it. Whether it's a sound in the distance or a rumbling tummy or an ambulance outside, or if you're outside, you're noticing the activity. It's in this present moment that we don't miss anything, that we are in awareness. So meditation does, it teaches us how to be more and more aware. Aware of what? Aware of everything. Everything. It's not that we have to think about it or label it or explore it or dive deep and do research about whatever it is. No, there's just an awareness. A really good analogy of presence for me is when you're sitting with someone who's completely present with you. You're having a conversation back and forth. And when it's your turn to talk and when you're adding in your information or sharing, when you're with someone who's completely present, you feel heard. And not only do you feel heard by them, you're also heard by you. And we're not just talking about your personality self, we're talking about your higher beingness, your essence. When the person in front of you is completely present, it's kind of sort of like an echo in a way. When you talk, you really hear what you're saying. You're very aware. At least that's been my experience. You can hear yourself breathe. You are aware that you have thoughts. But when you're having a conversation with someone and you're both interrupting each other, I know I do this when I get excited, when I see someone I haven't seen in a long time, and I just want to tell them everything that's going on and finding out what's going on with them. And there's that excitement, it's back and forth. There's nothing wrong with that kind of conversation. However, the difference is what I want to point out. Sometimes things just come out of your mouth. You're not paying attention to what you're saying. You're interrupting them. They're interrupting you. And when you're present, there just seems to be a flow. In the moment, there's a flow. It's my turn to share, and I'm going to tell them this. And then they sit there presently, and then they share, and you sit with them present. This is presence. There's a very palpable energy in presence. Some people sense a sound or hear sound, sense a pulsing. It's a wonderful feeling. Let's put it this way, it's more wonderful or wonder-filled when you're comfortable with it, when you're familiar with it. I remember a time in my life where I wanted to fill all the quiet spaces with something. Radio, TV, chatter, whatever it may be, music. I mean, music's wonderful, and I'm not saying don't play music or any of that. But I've gotten to a point where I'm much more quiet with silence. Much more comfortable with silence. And also, I enjoy it more. I want it more. So let's open our awareness together. Aware of the space that surrounds us, all around us. Aware how we are sitting. In the magical, powerful here and now. You and I are one. Consciously, we're always one. But in this moment, we are the same heart, the same being. I truly appreciate you. sharing this time with me, sharing this time with you in this conscious manner. We make a difference, you and I, when we do this, as we enter into this magical, powerful present moment. We are connecting or aligning with every single human or non-human in the universe that's at the same frequency we are. So let's take advantage and stay in our hearts right now, closing our eyes, going within and connecting to the love that we are, and breathe. Wonderful. So long for now. Enjoy the rest of your day.